What was the most surprising thing when you guys shifted to this space for y'all from a business standpoint?
Well, from a business standpoint, I think the upside is we're attracting a whole new demographic. You know, when you think about combat sports or mixed martial arts, a lot of our clientele historically were fighters, you know.
What do you feel like are some of the advantages to the athletes that are coming in for how you guys have set this up?
Well, I mean, everybody loves it. Every time somebody walks in, they're, I think, kind of awestruck a little bit. It's not just the audio, it's the lights, it's the ring, it's everything that you see when you come in the door.
Thanks for tuning in to the show, whichever platform you're on. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Today we're remote. It's a new thing for us. We're with Reed Shelger here at Paradigm Combat Sports in Sugar Lands. Excited to be here. Excited to kind of jump into a conversation. Thank you for hosting us. This was a phenomenal idea. I really appreciate you opening the doors for us. So
thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you here at Paradigm.
Appreciate it. So for context for the viewer, Reed and I originally had some conversations when they built this facility. We did not end up working together, but I love the idea of what they were doing from a technology and kind of incorporating it into the sport and the stuff that they're doing. And so Reed, give us kind of like the 60-second story of Paradigm and kind of where you guys started and the vision of how you guys got to the point you're at right now.
Sure. So Paradigm has been around for about 15 years.
Yep.
Our first location was in the Galleria area of Houston, and then we moved to the southwest side, and now we're in Sugar Land, which is a little bit further west. And so this was a big investment for us. It's a higher quality facility.
Yeah.
And so, we kind of wanted to go all out in terms of building out the facility. And another thing that we do kind of tangential to our core gym business is professional fight events.
Yeah.
And so previously we were renting a facility. It was costing, $15,000 to rent the facility.
Oh, wow.
Another $5,000 to rent a boxing ring, rent the lights, everything. So when we built this place, we were like, let's go ahead and set it up so that we can do our events in-house.
Yeah.
So that's what you see here with the arena behind me with the lighting and the boxing ring and everything. So this is day to day. It's a full service gym, but we also have the capability to host our own events here as well.
How many folks do you end up having usually at the events? Like how many people are coming in as just part of the audience for those?
I think it's close to 300.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's pushing the limits of our
I was going to say, I could imagine like 300 people in here. That would be pretty intense.
And you've got probably 50 of those are fighters and cornermans and officials and everything.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's closer to 250 fans, but
either way, like that many people in this space, that's impressive. That's really cool.
It's packed.
So, when you built this space out, do you feel like kind of adding all the technology pieces that you did, adding the audio and video pieces that you've added, do you feel like it's made a bigger impact in the people that you're bringing in and the things that you guys are doing? Has it kind of elevated what you're doing from a business standpoint?
Yeah, and it's also made it easier for us. So, in our old location, we just kind of did it old school. We had a boom box on the ground in one area. We had Sonos speakers in another area.
Yeah.
So you'd have to take out your phone and turn on the music and everything like that.
Right.
And so now we have it all centrally controlled from one iPad at the front desk.
Right.
With a touch of the finger, we can change the music in the zones and turn the music on and off in one zone or another. And so it's easier from a maintenance perspective.
Right.
And we also have a PA system incorporated, so we can make announcements on top of the music.
Yeah.
We can have for example, when we do our events, we can have the MC on the mic. Yeah. Right. That we're just set up to do everything. So it just makes it so much easier for us.
Yeah. For that many people, if you've got, 250, 300 people coming in, are you finding that those people are still relatively, it's easy for them to hear the announcements that are made and that kind of thing when it's full environment and that kind of deal?
Yeah. I mean, for a relatively small space, I think we've got ample sound.
Yeah.
So it booms pretty good in here.
That's
and
awesome.
We also, even not just in our special events, in our day-to-day classes, we'll run our fitness class or our cardio boxing class, we'll have the instructor mic'd up. So he's giving instructions and encouragement right on top of the music. So it creates a really great vibe.
That's awesome.
And I mean, that's a pretty common thing, I think, for a group fitness class, but Obviously not everybody is set up to do it as well as we are.
Do you feel like that makes an impact for the athletes, just the vibe and the atmosphere when they're coming in?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big
stuff.
part of your workout is just getting the energy going.
Yeah, having that thing running in the back of your head.
Very important in our industry.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was the most surprising thing we talked a little bit about this before we started rolling, but what was the most surprising thing kind of when you guys shifted to this space for y'all? From a business standpoint?
Well, from a business standpoint, I think the upside is we're attracting a whole new demographic. So, when you think about combat sports or mixed martial arts, a lot of our clientele historically were fighters, and now we're getting more families and kids and, these sports are great for everybody.
Yeah.
And so I think it's helping to close the gap of, being intimidated maybe to try it, because we have such a nice location. It's very inviting space.
Right.
So that's been a great benefit to the move.
Yeah.
We also talked about one of the things that I didn't probably anticipate or plan for was the noise level.
Right.
And so in the evening when we're running multiple classes simultaneously, and I talked about having an instructor mic'd up and music on one side, and then I'll have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class on the other side where the coach is trying to give detailed instruction and nobody can hear or focus. Kids class, they're all distracted.
Right.
So I guess that would be an advantage of having separate rooms for each, thing that's going on, but we like the open concept.
It takes away from the open concept.
We deal with the noise, and maybe in some point we'll look at doing some acoustic panels to help reduce that.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's awesome. As far as like you mentioned, doing the additional fights beyond just the gym business, but doing like the promotional fights and stuff like that, have you found that it's easier for you guys to do more of those because you've set everything up specifically? Like, I guess that's the question. Are you doing more now than you were before because you've got it all kind of situated correctly?
So we do a variety of different types of events, right? We do professional boxing and professional mixed martial arts, which is a much, I'd say, bigger deal because we have to bring in the commission and there's a lot more that goes into those type of events. It's more like a once or twice a year type of a thing for us. And it's not because of the facility, although renting the facility and everything was a big expense. There's so much that goes into planning that. But we also do in-house wrestling tournaments, in-house grappling tournaments. We do, we call them a smoker. It's basically an unsanctioned sparring event where people will come and we'll do kickboxing or mixed martial arts unsanctioned. And so across all those different types of things, we're doing something almost once a month.
Okay. So for the knowledge of the viewer, run through kind of the sanctioned versus unsanctioned fight and kind of what that means for you guys.
If you think about boxing or mixed martial arts, for example, when you have a state athletic commission and you want to have a professional fight that's going on your professional record and everything. That's what I mean when I say sanctioned.
Yeah.
So there's a commissioner and everybody comes in and that's like an official fight.
Yeah.
And then if me and my buddy just want to go in the boxing ring and do a match,
spar for a while,
do a match, that's not going to show up on anybody's record. So that's kind of more unsanctioned.
Yeah, that makes sense. Awesome. You mentioned the open concept and kind of the classes that you guys are doing. From an instructor standpoint, do you think the technologies that you guys have deployed in the audio and in some of the video stuff, is it helping the instructors basically be able to communicate with that many more students at one time? Obviously we talked about the noise issue, but beyond that, like it's probably enabling them to kind of have a bigger impact with larger class and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
So some instructors are more comfortable than others being on the mic, and I think it suits well a high energy, high intensity aerobic type of a workout. So we do a kind of a fitness boot camp style class, and we also do boxing. And in both of those classes, the instructors like to be mic'd up. In the things like wrestling or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, where it's more like positional and explaining details, if we're having like a special clinic and we got 50 people in the audience who all want to hear, then we might use it, but not always.
Yeah. Some of that I could imagine be a little bit more one-to-one instruction and things like that. No, that totally makes sense. Awesome. What do you feel like is the, obviously we talked about moving to this location, building it out the way you guys have. It's made it easier for what you're doing from a day-to-day operation standpoint. What do you feel like are some of the advantages to the athletes that are coming in for how you guys have set this up?
Well, I mean, everybody loves it. Every time somebody walks in, they're, I think, kind of awestruck a little bit. It's not just the audio, it's the lights, it's the ring, it's everything that you see when you come in the door. And so people love that, and they love training in that environment. And the music is part of it, you know, having good sound and an intense atmosphere, exciting atmosphere helps you. So yeah, I think it's all good.
Yeah, we talked about, I had a conversation with another gentleman before on the show that had done some mixed martial arts stuff and those kind of things. And we talked about the level of confidence, basically, like if the room energy is up, right? And so like the music is good and all of these other things are happening in the background and the production is really good. Just the energy that adds to you as an individual, as the fighter coming into that environment. How do you think that affects, you know, the individual? Do you think it depends on the person, or do you think just kind of across the board?
Well, your question makes me think of two different things. I mean, just for the average person who wants to have a good workout, it's still cool, right? It's still good energy. But then for somebody who's a serious competitor who wants to be a professional fighter or whatever, being able to have experience fighting under the lights gives you that experience.
It's a different dynamic.
You don't want to wait until you make it to the UFC to be the first time you fought under the lights. So we get to do it every night. So that's pretty cool as well.
That is cool. And I didn't think about that. And to your point, like, I mean, you guys are, you know, you're training a lot of people for those types of things. And giving them kind of that experience and that, you know, I mean, you guys have set it up for like a pretty awesome environment for that. It really gives the competitor and the athlete like a real vision of like, okay, this is really what this is going to be like when we go somewhere that it's for real, right?
Yeah, and that was the vision. I mean, this is like a small business. Obviously, this is not the Toyota Center, but you know, we tried to make our own homemade. Whatever you call that thing. Yeah. It's just 4 screens, you know, facing around, but it looks like, you know, the Rockets game.
It achieves, you know, exactly what, you know, I mean, what we originally talked about when we first met. I mean, you've achieved that with the technology. I feel like you walk in this place, to your point, it's like, this is special. There's something really cool happening here. So that's awesome. I'm trying to think of what, I had some other thoughts that I was trying to think through earlier.
So we did a lot with zones. I think I could talk about that for a minute. You know, we've got, I think, 4 or 5 different zones: the lobby, the bathrooms, fitness area, boxing area, mat 1, mat 2. So however many that is, maybe 6 zones. And I can turn the audio off or on or change the channels across each zone. But again, you know, the music carries, so you can't really have one area quiet and one area noisy to an extent. The other thing is we put dampeners around, so I could, without going to the front, I could, if I'm in the fitness area and I want to turn the music down, I can do it on the wall from the wall panel. So I've got those in every zone as well. So
nice. And are you guys using single source for music for the whole space still, or is it multiple zones, like multiple different feeds of music, basically?
We've got a few different channels that we can tap into, but I can't have one zone on one channel, one zone on the other.
Right.
It's either going to be on or off.
Yeah, so it's all or nothing, basically. Yeah, that makes sense. For the displays that you've got around the facility, I mean, I see the one in the, is this wrestling or is this jiu-jitsu?
We take turns.
Both, yeah. So the screens that you guys have in these spaces, what are you guys using those for? Just announcements, digital signage stuff?
Scoreboards as well.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Are you guys doing the scoreboard through like an app, or you have a...
Yeah, so we have to cast it on there.
Okay, so that makes sense. So you got a laptop that you're setting up there.
Yeah.
I know we were talking about before just some of the footage that you guys are taking kind of as you're doing training and some of those kind of things, and the groups that you're sharing that in, like from a WhatsApp perspective. Do you feel like the footage that you guys are taking when you guys are sparring and training and those kind of things, is it giving the athlete the feedback that they need, that they can actually see it? Do you feel like there's a recognition of there's no way to kind of play that off because it's legitimately what happened, right? It's like the way somebody interprets maybe something that they do versus when you can actually see the video of what you did. It's a very, sometimes it's a very, it's a mindset or a piece that you've got to really kind of work through.
Yeah. So I think our boxing team is probably the best at using the film study. They film their sparring every night and they share it in a WhatsApp group so they can have a chance to study and see what mistakes they're making and make adjustments. On the other hand, when we do our live events, we'll stream those live on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. So the other, people who have nothing to do with the fight, fans can watch and enjoy And that's a big source of kind of social media promotion for us to get that footage out and shared as much as possible.
What's been the platform that you guys have had the most interaction on? Yeah, so I know you guys have YouTube and Instagram. There's a couple others. Are you getting more views and more interaction on YouTube or on Instagram, or is it a kind of a mix of both?
It depends on the format of what you're trying to do. For longer format, like if we're doing a fight night, I think YouTube has been our best option. For day-to-day clips of what's happening, we're constantly on Instagram. So it depends. I mean, we do have a larger following on Instagram than YouTube, but I still think YouTube is a better platform for long format.
I would totally agree with you on that. And I think all of the platforms tend to usually have some kind of shorts now in some way or another. But we've kind of seen that as well. It's like, if you've got long form content that you're doing, I mean, obviously stuff like this, or the fights that you guys are doing, it makes a huge impact on, what people are seeing, and then they can come back and, view it anytime they want, those kind of things.
I wish I was better at it. I think everybody's trying to figure out how to use all that technology most effectively.
Yeah. There's a few different pieces of that, but I think the important thing, I think with anything from a business standpoint, especially on the social platforms and YouTube and those kind of things, is these days it's not about being perfect. It's just about putting in the time and doing it.
You got to get the content out there.
Yeah, you got to get the content out there. You got to get, in front of more eyeballs and more people and that kind of thing. It's a huge, I think that's a misconception that everybody makes, is they think it has to be perfect, or they've got this image of, like I want to put something out that's like super perfect and whatever, but it just doesn't translate. It's more important from a business standpoint to just get it out.
I'm exactly that way. I want to overproduce everything and make sure it's perfect. And then a month after I'm still fiddling with it, it's like too late. You know what I mean? So luckily I have so many people and coaches in different disciplines, and even our customers are putting content out for us, posting constantly. So
when you guys are doing fights in here, the boards that you're using in the center of the ring, are you basically leaving those up as scoreboards, the same type of deal that you're doing on the other?
No. So we can simultaneously stream what's happening in the ring onto those screens.
Okay. So you're using them.
So if I'm doing an event here, like when we do boxing, you can see the action up there. So if you happen to be seated somewhere and you don't have a clear vision of the ring, you can see up there. Although it's so small, almost every seat in the house, you can see the ring, but you get to see it twice. This one in particular doesn't have any connection to our other system, so we just cast the scoreboard up there.
So it's just more of the scoreboard piece.
But we have our AV connections actually back in that corner, so when we do the professional fights, we've got the team tapped into there, and they can send the signal up here.
That's awesome. That's good. Doing the fights here, how has that changed kind of your view of where Paradigm is going, or what you guys are going to do kind of moving forward? Like, has it changed maybe your thought process for the next 2, 5, 6 years, down the road?
Not really. And I'll say why. For one, it's not profitable. Doing the fights is an investment for us. It's a way to showcase the gym and to showcase our fighters. So I've got coaches and athletes training here who want to be professionals, and sometimes those opportunities are hard to come by. So we're able to provide them opportunities to fight and to showcase their skills right here. So that's why I love doing it, even though it's not a moneymaker. But that also is why I'm not trying to do it more frequently or really grow into that space. But the passion is about the gym and about helping the athletes, and the fights and the promoting the fights is just another way to help showcase them.
Yeah, no, totally. And that makes sense. I mean, I think, just thinking through that from a business standpoint, it makes a lot of sense, like what you're saying. I mean, if those things are more expensive to produce, they don't make as much money, those kind of things. But it is, to your point, is a huge showcase for the gym, right?
It's a commercial, right?
If
I have to lose $10,000 to put a fight on, is there better marketing that I could do for 10,000? I don't, maybe not. So.
Yeah, I mean, and you probably would get like the amount of content that you get out of one fight.
Yeah.
You could be posting stuff for months.
Well, you got the 300 people in here who are posting for you.
Exactly, that too. I mean, it's that whole dynamic. So that totally makes sense. That's a really good way to look at that. That's exciting. Any major classes or anything that you guys want to promote, or anything that's coming up that you guys want to get out there?
No, just again we talked about this before we started filming, but kind of what we do here. People think about mixed martial arts.
Yep.
This would kind of fall under mixed martial arts gym, but I like to say we unmix it because we kind of have a depth within each of the combat sports. So wrestling, we've got people aspiring to be in the Olympics, boxing with professional boxers, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, people competing at the world elite level. So we're trying to be really deep in each of the sports that we offer, as well as we have a mixed martial arts program, and those people have an opportunity to cross-train with high-level athletes within each sport, which is a benefit for them as well. So I think that's what makes us different and special.
No, that totally makes sense. And you guys have built an amazing facility, an amazing business. It's a cool to have talked about this originally, a couple of years ago, and to actually walk in and see the space and see what you guys have done. It's been really impressive. Well, so
thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be able to share with you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell everybody where they can find you guys on YouTube or Instagram, those kind of things. We'll also put it in the show notes as well.
I think it's at Paradigm Combat Sports for Instagram. Not sure about the other ones, but we're here in Sugar Land, Texas, and we're open 7 days a week. We open at 6 a.m. for morning classes, noon classes, evening classes, kids and adults. And come see us.
Reed, thank you so much for opening the doors, man. This has been fantastic. This is a great experience for us, just getting out of the studio and out of our space and just doing something remote. And this is, it's a beautiful place, man. So
thank you. I hope the viewers enjoy it.